then just knock it home until you get, well, there you go. That's nice solid sound, and you won't feel it yield anymore. This outer edge here is a little bit wider than where the bearing actually sits, so that's why that comes out fairly easy. And that's obviously where your seal goes, which I know I've been at it as a screwdriver, but it was looking a little bit more ropey than it should have been. And again, just tap that home. I think I've put a little bit of red grease, just the tiniest bit, just in case there's any friction between that inner race and the rubber seal. Make sure that's all clean. And that should go on finger tight. Again, you want to get it nice and even. There you go. As I say, just finger tight. Good enough. All flush, look. Flush across the top there. So that's your sprocket carrier bearing done. So I just need to get the new sprocket off of here and the new shiny nuts. You can't beat shiny nuts, I tell you. There we go. Oh. Try not to lose your bolts. Don't throw them everywhere. Right. So, you see on the bottom there, you've got a flat area where the flat part of the bolt sits, which obviously stops it turning while you put your shiny nuts on, which will need a reshine when I'm done. Definitely feel a bit more confident that my sprocket carrier ain't going to break up when I give it some beans. Although I had put it back on the bike and that, I wasn't going to give it too much stress. It'd probably taken it, as I say, there's only hairline cracks in it, probably easily have taken it, but once you know, it changes the ball game, doesn't it? I mean, the hairline cracks could have been there for yonks. That's a technical term. Right, so they're all on, and once I actually put that back into the wheel, I'll torque them up to the correct torque setting. Right, so this thing got covered in shit. And again, check it for any visible signs of mushrooming. You know, if you've over tightened it and this has been at some sort of angle or something, you can get well, sort of a mushrooming effect at the top where it's been squashed. Chips and nicks, and just check it for everything. Give it a bit of a clean, because they don't come out to play very often, so get all the grit and shit that you can off. That looks good. Yeah. It feels good. Feels good. And again, I'm just going to put a bit of white grease on this. Just so it slots in nice and got a bit of lube. There you go. Nice. Nice. Right, so the next thing is to do the wheel bearings. And as I said before, there's a sleeve in between there, which feels quite solid. So this might be a pain in the arse. But I mean, that's how solid it is. That bearing's not freely moving at all. No, that is tight. I just don't know whether I'm going to get a screwdriver or something down there to punch that out. We'll see. Right, a little bit different on that one. As you can see, that's the bearing seating. Bearing was in there with the seal on the top. It was that tight. I mean, usually the videos I've seen, this is loose enough, this central tube, that you can sort of move it to one side, but this looks as though it's got a bit more of a collar on it than what I've seen. So all I've actually done is where the bearing was sat in there, on top of that, like that, is done a socket the size of the internal hole of the, or the middle hole of the bearing, which fitted onto the spacer tube, spot on, knocked one out, and then used the same principle to knock the other one out. And again, supporting the disc. Look at the grease. Supporting the disc across the riveted areas, and just knocking away quite purposeful taps, but lots of them rather than several dirty great big ones that could do damage to other stuff. So yeah, that needs cleaning up, and that's alright. No scarring, or was it that end? There's a little bit on there, but I think that's more to do with because it was so tight in there. Still, it's out. Now we need new bearings and a new seal. So again, seal, you see the salt and the white shit all congregated in the edge of the seal there. That's why that was a pain in the arse to get out. And again, probably not reusable, not the flattest of seals. New one there. Let's get these bearings out, see whether they match up. Bit more beer. It's quite a warm evening out there, and I'm sweating. Doesn't help being a fat pig, but I'm definitely sweating. I mean, that is tight. I mean, you can move it, but yeah, that's horrible. What about the other one? Do the same again, backs off. That's a lot freer. That's quite easy. And this one, oh, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's brand new. Brand new. Wiimoto. Recommend Wiimoto. Good service. Good crew as well. Good good bunch of lads answering the phones. So, you know, if you're not quite sure, I think the majority of them are bikers, so they know a bit about it, and they're willing to give you a bit of time and a bit of help to get what you need. Again, I'm going to put a bit of white grease just to help it slide into position. And again, a symmetrical. Check yours on whatever bike you're doing your wheel bearings. If you're looking at this video wondering how to do wheel bearings, I don't know why I've done that so quickly. I've got to clean out the hole. That is really shitty grease in there. That's really ancient grease. So give that a bit of a clean out. Let's get rid of the wood. Went to the larger size hammer. As I say, little firm taps. Let's put that down there. Give that a bit of a clean out. And again, checking for any score marks, any damage. That seems, that's very nice. It's very nice. Take out some of that old grease as well. Might have to clean my disc. There seems to be a bit of grease on it. Right. So let's get the new bearing down. Like so. Give an old one a bit of a wipe. Oh. And again, I'll slap this home. You're a bit precariously perched. I've only got a little tripod. Yeah, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it. Oh, that's it. Same as the last one. Tap it evenly round. Drive it home until you get that solid sound. And then to the other end. Right. All the bearings have been pushed in. Seals are on. I've put a bit of white grease on the axle itself. Bit of white grease on the spacer that's inside the wheel. Bit of red grease on the washers, because there is contact with the spacer, which doesn't spin, and obviously the seal does or not. Yeah, seal spins, spacer doesn't, so just a bit of red grease on the inside there, just to stop that bit of friction. Oh, I've lost my nipple cap. Oh no. Yeah, cleaned the brake disc off. Obviously playing around with all this grease and that, can never be too careful. I spotted a bit of grease that I'd got on there, so brake and clutch cleaner, gave that a good clean off before I put it back on. Yeah, and then remembering what order everything's in. Obviously the brake goes on first, then you've got the spacer that goes into the wheel, and then this side, spacer in between. Get the chain on, tension it all up, washer and nut on the end, and that should be that. So I saw a tip the other day on, look at me and my camera work, I'm brilliant. Where are you going? Saw a tip the other day, someone tightening their chain up, and cleverly enough, I've left some screwdriver over here. There it is. Right. Yeah, tightening their chain up, and the problem I always used to have was when I tightened this nut up, it tensioned the chain up even more. So I was forever loosening it off. I got one of those chain monkeys, but didn't really get on with it. Don't know why. Just weird, I guess. But I see something on YouTube the other day, and they put something in the chain and pulled the wheel round, which obviously tensions the chain up, pulls it tight, and holds your wheel in position while you do this nut up. So I've done it on this bike before, and I used the same principle on my 1250, and neither of them became over tight. So I'll just pinch that up. Before I get the torque wrench out. Yeah, take the screwdriver out. There you go, tension is spot on. Still. I don't know whether it's because obviously you're turning this, which is pulling the wheel this way, or what, but yeah, just tensioned the chain up more than it wants to be. And you know yourself, it's only a fraction of a spanner movement, and you can get it over tightened. But keeping the tension on the chain like that whilst you do up the nut, and I don't lose my tension. As easy as that. And there you go, that's new wheel bearings in my back wheel, and new sprocket carrier, new sprocket and new chain. Lovely. No more rattly chain. Now I've got to get some grip on this tyre so I don't fall off again. Right, ride safe. Might as well just show you, yeah. So there as I say, just in case there's any slack to be had. Screwdriver in, take the slack up on the wheel, and then on with the torque wrench. That's 100 Newton meters it's set at. There you go. As I say, lovely, lovely jubbly, sorted. And when you're tensioning your chain, especially on older chains, find your tight spot. If you go round and just wobble it, eventually you'll find a bit of a tight spot, and it is really noticeable as well. And that's the bit you tension it up on, not one of the slackest bits. There you go, sorted. Now go and ride safe.